What's up everyone, this is Scratch and I've got a video here for you today. We are doing the Escapists and I'm going to take you through the Escape Team DLC that just came out. It's worth 500 gamer score. The walkthrough is going to kind of assume you already know how to play. I will kind of talk a little bit about it, you know, what we're doing here, but this walkthrough actually that I'm following comes from Reject444 and Spiral Gamer Pro on trueachievements.com. They have actually a full walkthrough of the game, and they actually use some of my videos in that other walkthrough. So shout out to those guys, appreciate the support, and I am going to put a link to their walkthrough in the description of this video, and we're gonna get started. So you probably recognize the Escape Team. It's like the A Team. So there's a lot of references. That's a American sitcom that used to be on in the 80s. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the strategy that's used in that walkthrough, and we should be able to nab all 500 gamer score. It's going to take you probably 2 to 3 hours, give or take, maybe less, but if we're following along with what I'm doing here, we should be okay. I am recording this after I've played, so I'm basically just going to talk you through my edited video. So basically what we're looking for here is in the bottom left hand corner, we have things that we're going to need to craft and to use to escape are going to be found in desks that look like that. So that's pretty much our objective, is to search those desks, find everything, put it all together, and then escape. So basically I'm coming here to roll call in the morning, and we're going to take just kind of a quick trip around the prison. That's what I recommend you do first, is just to kind of walk around, get familiar with all the buildings, and familiarize yourself a little bit, so you can kind of understand. If you're following the guide, that'll make it a little bit easier to, you know, you'll know what buildings are what when it says go to the bottom right building or the bottom left building. You know, you'll know where that means. And you can also see through the walls, obviously, so it makes it a little bit easier. So we're just going to kind of take a little stroll here. This coming up here, there's the tank where we're going to use to escape. And if we come down here, you can see this is considered the bottom right-hand building, and we're gonna use that here in just a little bit. So the first thing we need to do, which I recommend doing this on any of the prisons that you play, but the first thing you need to do is to go through and level up all of your abilities. So you have intelligence, you have speed, and you have strength. So to do the intelligence, you just come down here and read, and you can see that uses the energy over there on the left hand side. So that's going to eventually deplete, and we need to go take a shower and get some of that energy back. So the shower is located all the way up in the main center building. That's what I'm in right now. You can see the strength and speed of the gym are right there, and when we go in the shower, we can get up, get our energy back. And you'll notice I'm about to lose my job here because I don't need any of that stuff. I don't need any money. I don't need my job to get out or whatever, so it's not important in this prison to actually keep that. So basically what I've done is I've gone through and I've leveled up my character all the way up. You can see I'm already on day 6. That's because as I'm looking for stuff, sometimes I'll wait it out. I'll wait the day out. You have to be kind of patient. Wait the day out, and then every morning you'll save. That way if you get discovered, or if you lose stuff, or go to the brig or whatever, you can just start over from that day and you won't lose any of your progress. So the next thing we want to do is we're going to head up here towards the top, and there's like 5 or 6 single cells that we're going to search through. And this is basically going to be the bulk of where we find all of our material. So here's the first one, and if we find anything we need, we're just going to grab it. The guide is going to explain exactly what you need, but basically what we're doing here is we're getting stuff to, well, we have the trash bag, for example, the sovereign ring or aftershave. We want to collect that stuff. You also want to collect anything to make putty, or to make molten plastic, which we'll go over here in just a second. So what I found here is I got lucky and found duct tape and a piece of metal, sheet metal, so I can make the bulletproof or padded inmate outfit by combining all of these together. That's going to help keep my health up high, so I don't get knocked out or beat up when I get into fights with the guards. So the next thing I have here is we have the talcum powder and the toothpaste, so we can make putty, and then we're going to come down here and grab a toothbrush and a lighter to make the molten plastic. Because the first thing that we're after here, we need 2 sets of each of these. So we're going to have we're going to have 2 red keys, because you're going to need them to get into the areas that we need to get to. So I collected all that stuff, and now I'm just going around and I'm collecting the sovereign ring, and I already had a bag of trash. Maybe by this time you've already gotten it, and then we get, of course, the aftershave there. So we put all that stuff in our inventory, and then for what I did here is I just went, after I collected all of it, I went to roll call at the end of the day here, and then I give everything to everybody. So Andy takes, I think, the aftershave, so we're gonna give that to him, and that increases his likeness of us, or how much he likes us. And of course we grab a 50 gamer score achievement, and then of course Sean gets knocked out, so we have to wait for that one. But we're gonna give Cage the sovereign ring. He's the one that looks like Mr. T. So we give that to him. And to get this give thing up, I think you just walk up and like press Y on the people or whatever, and then you have the tab option at the top to go over to give, and you can give them things to make them like you. So Sean got knocked out, so we have 100 gamer score so far, so we're gonna get the next 50 by tracking Sean down and giving him this bag of trash, and that'll make him like us even more. So now what I did once I nabbed all these 3 achievements is I just reloaded that day. So I had all of those items back, because we're going to need them later on. So you don't have to do that. You may end up finding them. But I just reloaded the day so that I kept them all. So the first order of business here is we had to collect 3 duct tapes, and we had to collect the red key copies, which it's like I'm learning how to craft here. I've played so many hours of this game, and I can't believe I messed that up, but whatever. So anyways, we get 2 copies of the red key. We have to put the key back, and then we're gonna go down here, and I make a mistake right here because I forgot to grab his uniform. So we're gonna need to get a uniform still, but I didn't really have room for it anyway. Well, I guess I could have made the keys back there, but I get nervous, and you know, you just want to get away from there in case he wakes up. But I have my 2 keys, and I have 4 rolls of duct tape, which I don't need, so I'm just going to take one down here into the bathroom area and just lay it on the ground, just in case I need one. There's less likelihood that they'll walk by that and pick it up today. So I've got my nunchucks, so we're going to come back up in here. There's a guy that patrols and checks my room, so we'll just wait for him to come back, and I'll show him how these nunchucks work, and we'll take his uniform. So there we have that. So now we have everything you need. So by this time my crime level was up to like 97. So I just came down here in these showers, and I hid here the rest of the day because it was already 7 o'clock at night, and so I just waited until evening roll call because I had all my stuff for the next leg of our escape, and I just waited till the morning of day 8, which I recommend doing that. Once you get a good set of supplies and you're in pretty good shape, just wait till the next day, because that brings your suspicion level all the way back down to 0, and you can pretty much kind of just show up at roll call real quick and then go get started. So what we need to do here is we're going to put the duct tape back, and I'm going to change my uniform so that I look like a guard. And then I do make a slight mistake here because I had to re-record. But here's what happened. I'm taking both of those red keys with me, but I do not need to do that. This is a different scene here, but you can see I just walked through and hit both of those keys, or hit both of those doors, which eliminated my keys. So this is back now to my original run, but that little clip back there was just to show you that don't hit both doors because it'll use your key twice. So I thought I had to take both keys, but I didn't. It was actually my fault for running into 2 doors and using my key twice when I didn't need to. So I really only need just the 1 key, will be fine, because in and out puts me at 50, and then in and out uses my key completely. But when I hit both doors here, I used the key completely, and then I was in trouble. So I brought both keys. But all that aside, we've collected the corrugated material, the bullet looking thing, which they call a top in the walkthrough, and then of course this tube. Thankfully, because my inventory was full, I found a roll of duct tape here because I wasn't going to be able to leave a key there. So I just crafted the 2 tubes together here. I got lucky there. If I didn't bring 2 keys, I would have had to leave one or come up with some other plan. So don't take 2 keys like I do in the video. Just take 1 and then make sure you're walking through 1 door at a time. Okay, so we're heading back here now to my barracks, and we're going to combine everything and make a turret. So I need to grab my duct tape here, and we're going to combine the 2 pieces of the corrugated material, and that gives us a base, and we already have the barrel, so we put all 3 of them together, and that gives us the makeshift tank turret. So now what we need to do here is get rid of this duct tape, I guess, because I don't need it anymore. And then we are going to put my inmate outfit back on. Remember, that's the padded inmate outfit. So now we're down to 3 contraband items, which we have a red key, the officer's uniform, and the bullet. So this is telling me to put the makeshift tank turret on top of it. I had a little bit of trouble with it because I think I kept pressing the wrong button. I think I need to walk up to it and have the turret selected, and that's basically what I was doing wrong, I guess. So when you make sure the turret is selected and press X, it'll set the turret on top of the tank, and you're gonna grab the tanked up achievement for 100 gamer score. So I think we're up to 250. So you'll also notice that I grabbed another thing of putty and another thing of molten plastic because I'm gonna make a green key, because I'm gonna need the green key for this next part. And I've also, up to this point, I've also been collecting plastic forks, which we're going to need 5 of. So you may have to take another day if you haven't been collecting plastic forks. But I ended up with like 1, 2, 3, 4 of them here, and I already had a couple stashed. So you want to just get 5 plastic forks, and we're going to need them. So the next thing I'm going to do is run around, beat people up till I find the green key. And we're going to make a copy of that really quick. Just by combining this stuff, and then make sure you give him the key back, otherwise you're going to get caught on suspicion and lose all your progress. So now I'm back up to 98, 99 of suspicion rate, so I'm going to run down here and hide in this closet, and then just kind of wait out the day. I got to the afternoon free period, and I was down to 60, so I figured it was okay to kind of leave and run out, but it was a pretty risky move for me to do that. So basically, we're going to come up here, wait for that guy to leave. So we're going to grab all of our forks, we're going to change into the officer uniform, and we're going to have a red key, and that's all we're going to have. So 5 forks, red key, wearing officer uniform, that's the next step. Basically what we're doing here is we're going to collect all the ingredients to arm this warhead that we have ready to go. So we're going to come back over to that lower right building with the double doors. So again, you're going to want to be careful. when you go through the double doors that you only walk through one door so that you don't use too much of your red key. And then we're going to walk up here, and we're going to walk all the way over here to the right, and we're going to start going to town with a fork on this wall. So each time you use the fork to dig, you use 10%, you deplete 10% of the wall, and it's 50% of the fork every time you do that, so you need 5 forks to do 100% of the wall and get through. So you should be out of forks. That's why you need to have 5. So just a couple of more jabs here and we'll be through. And I think the potassium is what we're going to find in here. So we make sure we have that block. So we grab the potassium. Notice it has a little K on it. And then we put the block back so the wall is good to go, and then we leave, and we should have enough key left to get out if we didn't walk through 2 doors, and we should be in good shape. So now we're going to head up here, and we got to grab the green key. So we're going to go back to my barracks with no forks or anything, and we're going to grab the green key. So now I have the potassium, green key, and red key in my possession. And we should be in good shape to head off and get the rest of the ingredients here. I think I'm just kind of looking to see what I need to do here, because it's not too hard to follow, but there is quite a bit to look at here. And maybe I have really bad editing skills, and I probably could have cut that long pause out, but it lets me tell you I'm human. So I do make a mistake here in a little bit, but we're going to head all the way up to the top. And we're going to go into this desk right here. And we get the charcoal. And then we go back out the door here. And then we're going to walk over here to the left, but I actually walk into the wrong building. I don't know what I was thinking here, but I went the wrong way. So my plastic green key has 100% of usage. So we're going to head over here, and what we're looking for is I accidentally go into where the janitor works, which I'll show you here in a second, but we're going to be looking for where the gardener job is, and that's all the way over to the left. I headed down to the right for some reason, but again, I'm human. So I use 50% of my green key going in here and then going to the wrong thing. Because I realize I'm in the janitor's office, so there goes half my key. So I was worried that I was screwed here, but I'm not. So you're gonna have to go all the way up to the top and go past the laundry, and then right up here is where the gardener is. The gardener has the red desks inside. It does say that in the walkthrough, but for whatever reason I just must have missed it. So we grab the fertilizer there. Now we don't have any green key left. So we're going to head back up here, and then we're going to combine all 3 of these after I get dressed, of course. So we go to the profile, we select the outfit, and we put my padded inmate outfit back on, and then we're going to grab the top or the bullet or the warhead or whatever you want to call that, and then we're going to make sure we have all 3 items ready to go, because we're going to combine them here in a second. So the next thing I did is I don't need the key, and I don't need that officer uniform anymore, because I have everything I need to mix together. It's just a matter of putting this all together and loading it in the tank and leaving. So we're going to flush both of these items, and then we're going to take the charcoal, fertilizer, and potassium, throw all of them together, which makes our explosive mix. We have the metal cone and the explosive mix. Now we want to grab our items that make our comrades happy, and we want to grab a lighter. And I waited for a day because I'm all set to go now, and it was running towards the end of the day anyways. So the first thing we want to do is, this is the morning. This is what your inventory is going to look like the day that you're going to escape. So you want to go to the morning roll call, and on your way there, I just started giving it to them ahead of time because, like I said, they beat each other up. I've already gotten the achievements. You can save it and get the achievements right here if you want to, I just didn't know if I was going to play all day, so I just kind of got greedy and reloaded. But you can save it for here if you want. So we give Sean the trash, and then we go and give Cage the Sovereign Ring. And now all of their favor to us, or their opinion towards me, is all high. So right now that I've gotten rid of that stuff, I need to escape now before they don't like me anymore. So the first thing we're going to do is run, and we need to find one of those tapers. And then we also need to find like a mixing bowl or whatever, so I had to beat somebody else up to get that. So I got the mixing container. And now we're all set to go. So we just kind of head up here, and we're going to go back here into the shower and hide and make our stuff for the escape. So we get the explosive compound by mixing the explosive mix and that mixing container together, and then we mix the metal cone and the explosive compound together to make the explosive round, and then we put the taper and the lighter together to make our fuse, and that's it. We are ready, set to go. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to come up here, and I'm not going to select the items for whatever reason, and that was, I think, my problem. Shout out to Max and 13. So anyways, I select the items and I put them into the tank. I think I have to press X. So we load the bullet into the tank right here, and then we go over and we select the makeshift fuse and we load that into the tank, and we are good to go. If you followed the guide, you're gonna pop the rest of the achievements, and everything is in order, and you've got 500 gamer score for the Escape Team DLC. This DLC was pretty fun. I had a lot of fun with it. I messed around with it and tried to figure it out myself for a while before eventually going to the guide. But big thanks to Reject 444 and Spiral Game Pro for putting this guide together. And thank you guys for using my videos when you made your original walkthrough. That was really cool. I appreciate that. And I will have a link to the description, or a link in the description to their walkthrough, so that you can get all the gamer score in this. And I will catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.